Hello everyone. This video will take a look at discussion forums in Canvas. We'll look at how to create a discussion forum, how students respond to the discussion forum itself and then to each other if you want them to do that. And then we'll look at how you can pull that discussion forum into the speed grader and easily grade it. So this is a demonstration class that I cleaned out one of my old classes and using this as a demonstration class. So you can see that I have one module set up here. So in order to create a discussion forum, we're going to go here to discussions and we're going to say add a discussion. We're going to give it a title and I'll just pick out one of these. So discussion forum 1. And then you would type in here, this is a rich text editor, you type in the message box, what do you want the students to do? So do you want them to do some research? Do you want them to watch a video? Do you want them to make, to write reflections on something that they read or watch? Or are you simply going to ask them some questions that you want them to answer? So we'll assume that you have done that. You've put that in there, and then we're going to put some due dates on here. So we'll say the first post is due on March, let's say 21st, and let's say 3 response posts, spell things right here, are due on March 28th. All right, again, you would have more information than this. And we'll come down here and we'll say, I would suggest you say allow threaded replies. This makes it easier to look at. Now, I typically select this. It's up to you, but users must post before seeing replies. So what this means is if you have asked questions, if you've asked the students to write a reflection, they can't see what their colleagues have posted until they post their response, and then they can see what their colleagues have posted. And if it's graded, you're going to say graded, and then down here, if it's a group discussion, you would have needed to create groups first, but if this is the entire class participating in the discussion, you don't need to do anything here. Possible points, I score mine, everything based on 100, but however you do that. Assignment groups, and I'm sure I don't have a discussion group set up here because these are pulling in from something I've created previously, so I'm just going to say it's a project. And you can require peer reviews. You might do this if this were something in maybe an English class or that sort of thing. Again, assigned to everyone, or if you had said it's a group discussion, you'd assign it to particular groups. Here you're going to put your first due dates, which we said was March 21st, so we'll assume it's at midnight or as close to midnight as Canvas lets us get. And if you want to turn it off once the due date has passed, then you will say available from and until, and it will shut itself off, so students won't be able to post after the due date. I don't do that. I give them an opportunity to post 2 or 3 days late and just give them some late credit for it, but that's entirely up to you. So you'll notice here that we can only put one due date in, and you'll notice up here we have 2 due dates. Well, that's an issue that lots of people post about in the Canvas forums. They want to have the opportunity to put more than one due date in here, but the way you can do that I'll show you in just a minute. But let's say save and publish here. So we know that we have another due date, so I would just go to the calendar and I would say add a new event. I want to add the new event on March 28th. I would say 3 response post to discussion forum 1. and just say submit. And that will put that on the calendar and on the students' to-do list. So that's how I take care of that, and it seems to work very well. So we'll come back over here, and we'll see that we have now our discussion forum. And again, you'd have more information in here, but students reply, as you might imagine, by clicking reply. They'll type in their response to the discussion forum, and they will post their reply. So they have replied to you, whatever you have asked them to do, or reflection, answer questions, and then they reply to each other, same way, reply. So I have them say here, so we know what they're doing. Reply to the name of their colleague and type their response, and again post the reply. Now just so that you can see, for the sake of the students, if you click here, you can edit the post, or you can delete the post. Either way, they wouldn't have this option. I have this option because I'm the teacher, but they will be able to edit or delete their post once they have posted it. And that's always good, because if you take a look after you've posted it and see that you made a mistake, or whatever, you might want to edit your post. So that is what the students will do. Now I'm going to go to my live class, and I'm going to show you what a discussion forum looks like in a live class. And I selected one that has less information than some of them, but you'll still see that I have 22 students in my class, so you can see that the discussion forums get to be fairly comprehensive, because I typically have them do 5 a response post and an initial reflection post. So I'll show you what that looks like and how to tame it down a little bit. So here is a discussion, and we'll come down through here, and again this due date hasn't even passed, so you can see that there's a lot of information on here, and when the due date for the response postings pass, there's going to be a lot more. And Canvas defaults to this format, that everything is in a big long list, and when you first look at it you go, oh my goodness, that's, how will I ever deal with this? Well, what you're going to do is come up here and say collapse the replies, and now you'll see that it's much more manageable for you, and the students can. I also make a video for the students to show them to do this. So now I can take a look, if I'm a student, and say, all right, in best case scenario, they're going to look at all of these, but they can easily do it one at a time, because when you hover here, you will expand only information about Allie. So you'll see her initial information, and then you'll see the people who have responded to her. And then you can come back and close this again and come down and, take a look at Ryan. So that makes it much more manageable for you and much more manageable for the students. And over here you can see, how many postings there are, and here shows you how many responses. And again, the response dates have not passed on this, as you can see. So this will become much more complex. Now let me show you the really, really nice function of Canvas as compared to Moodle, where we can pull these into, as the teacher, you can pull these into the speed grader, and here it will show you by student. So if we select Ryan, we'll see all of the posts that Ryan has made. So he's put his first information on as he was supposed to, and he has responded to 5 of his colleagues. So he's got his done. Now if we come down and look at maybe Laura, Laura has got her original post on here, her first posting. She's met that deadline. She hasn't done her response post yet, which is fine because they're not due yet. Now I'm going to pull this over here a little bit. And now this over here doesn't, you can see here, you can grade it, you can add a comment, you can add a multimedia comment if you want to, so they can see you, you can talk to them. Now I have made grading rubrics for all of the assignments in my class. It's a little time consuming, actually it's a lot time consuming, but once you get them done, then you'll be able to use them. So if I click on this grading rubric, which is really quite nice now that it's done, I will be able to just click one of these. I'll be able to click this, make some comments about why the student got the grade that he or she got, and whatever I click on here will give, we'll put the points over here, and we'll come down and save it, which I'm not going to do right now. We can actually add more comments if we want to and submit it. So we don't need to fill the grade in if we're using the grading rubric, because the rubric will fill the grade in, and when you press save, it'll put the grade directly into the grade book. So it's really very nice and very easy to grade the discussion forums in Canvas. So hopefully this has been helpful. And if you still have questions, if you decide you want to try this, if you haven't been trying it yet, let me know if you have questions, and I will be happy to do my best to try to answer them for you.